Watch as Charlie Kirk delivers a masterclass on how to school a leftist who just doesn't seem to care about the American tradition, the American ways, or anything. They just want to import the whole world. It's really quite a bizarre thing, guys. You know, I've noticed that a lot of Americans seem to have no pride in our national identity, no desire to take care of our citizens, yet for some reason they have a desire to care for citizens all over the world that aren't Americans. It's really quite strange, but we're going to get right into it. It's going to be a lot of fun. But first, everybody, help me out real quick. Like our video, share it around, and if you're new, subscribe to the System Issue YouTube channel so we can keep bringing you guys this great content. As always, everybody, I'm your host, Darian. Let's get into the show.
Let's talk about the border.
Do
you think Kamala Harris did a good job managing the border?
I think the Central America Forward program that contributed to like $5 billion of economic growth in South Central America was like really productive for slowing migrant movement to the U.S.
So why is it that it's the most open border in American history? 10 million people have come into the interior of this country.
As somebody previously said, there's been more deportations, like total number, there's been more deportations.
Not even close.
There's a net growth in, sure, but I mean, so every other country in the OECD has seen an increase from Central America.
They repealed Remain in Mexico. They repealed Title 42. They're flying
separating
people. We have brought in 5% of the population of Haiti.
I don't see the issue with that, though.
You don't see the issue with
allowing immigrants into our country. I mean, is that not the foundation of America?
These are illegal immigrants that
people
cut in
seeking
line.
refuge for the best country in the world. Isn't that the whole point of your organization?
Well,
the U.S. is the best country in the world. Shouldn't we be obligated to help people that are suffering?
Yes, America is the best country. Therefore, its citizens should come first, not foreigners. So we have an obligation to our own people.
Yeah.
Amen. And how can you even argue America is a country or a nation if it doesn't have borders? If you don't have borders, you don't have a country. It really is that simple. If I knocked down all the walls of my home, opened the door wide open and said, hey, anyone can come in wherever, would that really be my home at that point? I think not.
So the pathway to citizenship should become easier then.
No, we should deport them all back to their homeland.
We should deport them all back to their homeland.
All
the immigrants, okay.
Well,
we shouldn't
all
make it
the illegal
for
foreigners, yes.
Okay,
sure. Hold on,
which is what Biden's been doing. They've been deporting people. They let some in. Sure.
You are, it's completely wrong. First of all, just to give you an idea, in Springfield, Ohio, in one town, English as a second language speakers in one high school went from 250 to 1,500 kids in 2 years. These communities are being overrun. Go down to Aurora, Colorado, right down the street here. Entire apartment complexes are now being run by Venezuelan gangs. Not to mention every day an American citizen is being killed. From Laken Riley to Rachel Morin to 11-year-olds that are being killed in DUI accidents. And so this is 100% on the Harris-Biden regime because they have a perspective similar to you. They think America is just an open season for the rest of the world to come in here. We have a different belief. We have a belief that our founding fathers had, which is if your government does not fulfill its obligation to its own people first, its government is not legitimate. And that's what's happening right now. Our government is now providing taxpayer-funded cell phones, hotel rooms, benefits, airplane rides, cash, for foreigners, but not for Americans. If you guys as an American citizen want a free cell phone, they'll laugh at you. As a foreigner from Venezuelan, you get one on the southern border. You get a flight to any city that you want. You get a luxury hotel in New York City. You get taxpayer-funded healthcare. That is the inversion. That is elevating somebody from a distant land over our own people. When our own kids can't afford homes, when our own people are seeing an increase in crime, homelessness, and we have over 50,000 homeless vets in this country. It's a breakdown of the social contract.
Wait, so
what's insane, too, is that a lot of these illegal immigrants that we've seen killing American citizens, often in really brutal and disturbing ways that I don't care to repeat, most of them have been caught by the United States government committing crimes, whether it's crossing the border or crossing the border and then some. And guess what happens? They come in, they get processed, and they let them ride out. It is disgusting, and no decent American should support it, period.
So the government should support veterans, support citizens more. We should do, so we should spend more on our people with better health care, better social programs. That's literally what you just said.
We should spend it on veterans and not on foreigners.
Sure, and American citizens with cheaper health care. That's what you just said.
Well, hold on. You're
free phones, airplane rides, public transit. That sounds great for Americans.
No, it sounds terrible, actually.
For Americans?
Yes, government should not be giving free phones to anybody, okay?
You said that the citizens should come first in those programs.
Yes, you know how they should come first? By not having to compete against a foreigner for your job.
But I don't think that's the case, though, when most,
How about this? If your own perspective was correct, would you feel comfortable going in Uber right now to Aurora, Colorado, and going to those 3 apartment complexes?
I mean, according to the Aurora police, I probably would. They say the apartments complexes are not overrun.
You should get in the car and go, go talk to anybody here and go knock on the door, and they'll extort you for cash because we're a country that is open for looting right now.
Right, because we can take the police at their word. Have you all seen that video with James O'Keefe where he did a bust in, I believe it was Arizona? We'll say it's alleged, but we can guess whether it's true or not. They found police allegedly safeguarding a facility that was keeping illegal immigrants and processing them for some kind of, I don't know, some kind of free stuff and then shipping them off to somewhere else. Those cops got furious, told O'Keefe to screw off, get out of here, wouldn't tell them who they were, what they were doing, nothing. But hey, as long as the police say it, well, it must be true. Right.
For the entire world, over 118 countries have entered the southern border. That we know of, at least 99 people on the terrorist watch list have come across the southern border. We're talking about people from Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, from Iran, people from Pakistan that are coming here and mean harm to the interior of the United States. Not to mention, we're breaking down what it means to be a citizen. A citizen should be put first above anybody else. If a government does not do that, then the government is not fulfilling its basic obligation. And the number one obligation is to make sure that its people can have a pathway to a better life and a good life. Not a variety of free stuff, but not have to compete with somebody from Brazil for a home. Not have
Sure.
The way that we're not doing that is that we're importing the third world and we're quickly becoming the third world.
So why don't we use our resources to improve the third world so they're not coming here rather than
Because
just spending
that's
the
not
same
the
amount
role
of
of the American government to go.
So we should spend the same amount of money on a big old wall in isolationist America.
Yes, you think we should be.
It's a lot less money, actually. You could build a wall for $10 billion or less. Ideally, you'd spend a bit more, but that is a drop in the bucket in terms of the national budget. And the proof of that is Trump tried to get $7 billion for a wall years ago, back when he was in office, got totally shut down. Totally disgusting. But hey, at least we were able to send $200 billion to secure the border of Ukraine. Woohoo! Yippee! We won.
Concerned about Central American politics. I don't care. I care about our own people.
So then
Secure
you don't
the border
care about
and-
those people that are sex trafficking
You know why?
children.
Of course I care about it.
You say you don't want to spend the money to make that change happen.
Number one, we've spent hundreds of billions of dollars. It doesn't do any good.
That's not true.
Number two, it is not the role of the American government to solve the problems of Panama, El Salvador, and Honduras when our own citizens are suffering and are crying out for help.
So why has the billions of dollars spent on Central American aid over the last 4 years
We shouldn't
been
have
effective
spent-
at slowing the
hasn't-
rates of sex trafficking in Central America?
It hasn't slowed anything.
No, it's been effective.
It hasn't affected anything.
It
What you're
literally
talking about
has.
is bribing these governments where they then go give it to cartel leaders and say, hey, this month send 20,000 people instead of 40,000
That's
people.
not what that money's going towards. It's going towards NGOs and
No,
bottom-up stabilization.
You think NGOs
No.
spend the money correctly?
Okay, not
Man,
all
you are
NGOs,
so
obviously,
naive.
sure.
By the way, more people are crossing the Darien Gap than ever before. Not to mention, they're coming across on the CBP One app across the border into the interior of the United States in every single state. And this is why voters are ranking immigration near the top of all of their concerns. Because outside the propaganda, they're walking the streets like in Springfield, Ohio, and they see Haitians like taking ducks and eating cats. Like, you cannot continue to have a country if you import an unfamiliar third world this quickly into America.
So
Now,
there
you'll
should
say-
be a path to immigration.
No, we should have no
and
immigrants in this country right now.
No immigrants in the
None.
country.
We need a total, complete shutdown of immigration in this country until every single Gen Z person can afford a home and can get their act together and be able to afford the
So
American dream.
what's your path to Gen Z getting homes? Is it just kicking all brown people out?
Not brown people. I think
Okay,
we should.
immigrants. Yeah.
We should. Anyone that's here illegally should be deported back to their country of homeland. By the way, it's a moral
So
position.
H-1B visas that like generate and
We should-
stimulate
we should-
the
we should-
economy, kick those out.
Well, yeah, that's interesting. H-1B. Well, you're studying computer, anything. Anybody? Computer engineering? You guys have to compete against a foreigner for a job. That's wrong. American. Well, I actually care about the country more than the free market.
So colleges should better prepare students and better utilize government resources.
Well, college is a scam, but yes, we did that earlier.
For
But-
computer science, they shouldn't go to college.
Well, actually, you don't need to go to college for computer science.
You don't need to go to college for computer science?
You could do a coding class in a couple months.
You could do
and
a
get
coding
job.
class.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alphabet is hiring right now.
You could get a job at Alphabet, Google,
Yes.
taking a C++ class.
Correct. Yes.
Yes.
They're hiring coders after a 60-day coding class without having to go to Sea Boulder and learn about North African lesbian poetry, whatever they teach.
Yeah.
It's a tangential point, but I really appreciate Charlie's commentary on how we basically need to stop all immigration because it's out of control. I wish more people would say that. I don't know how many times I've heard people discuss the collapsing birth rate in the United States, point out that Americans aren't having enough kids, they're not getting married, which is totally correct and a problem. And then they'll say, and that's why we need more immigrants to come in. We need to bring more immigrants in because Americans aren't having kids and we need workers to come support them. Are you kidding me? I have a better idea. Crazy idea, I know, but what if we just helped American citizens, make it more affordable for them to be able to live here, give them jobs, let them be able to buy a house, live the American dream, and have kids, rather than importing a bunch of people from the third world or first world, whatever, to come replace them. Radical, I know. Just call me crazy, but I don't know. Maybe we should just take care of our nation's citizens first before somebody else's. Wild.
Oh, but to answer your question, a country that ceases to secure its own sovereignty and does not think I care more about my own people than the foreigners ceases to be a country. You're a colony and you're something else. And we are seeing our generosity be taken advantage of. I am all for American charities going down to Panama and helping out. I'm all for people giving to charity. But when you start to see the government give preference and priority to not even its own taxpayers, that's why you get the rise of Trump.
So we should reallocate U.S. spending towards things that are actually effective for people in and outside of our borders.
Well,
so then we don't have people coming into our borders and then we can help our people.
Well, no, the way, again, if they come to the border and the border is closed and you say, hasta la vista, go back to Nicaragua.
Or we spend in Central America, they don't have to come to the U.S. and then we have a better U.S. It's the same amount of spending.
No, first of all, to solve the problems of the third world would cost trillions of dollars, and that would all be laundered and not even work. And again, it's not the position of the American government to go throw money around in the Southern Triangle. Instead, it's our country's closed. We're not open for looting anymore. Go make Nicaragua great again, or go do what El Salvador has done. El Salvador is now a safe and stable country, and they're seeing their GDP go up, and it's not because of us.
Yeah, it is. We put $4 billion into South Central America.
Hold on, and Bukele barely took the money. You know why it's safe? Bukele has turned El Salvador safe because he locked up all the criminals. He locked up 40,000 criminals and put them in prisons, and El Salvador is now safer than America. El Salvador was the murder capital of the world, and now El Salvador is much safer than America. I think it's wrong if you guys are afraid to walk the streets of Denver at night. I wouldn't walk the streets of Denver at night, would you guys? No! That's a breakdown of the fundamental role of government. Would you guys walk the streets of LA at night? No. The streets of San Francisco? No. We can't walk our own greatest cities at night, and we want to bring in more people from the third world? Hell no.
You know, the government of El Salvador actually reported that they had a full 300 days with no homicides on the mainland of the country. Really quite an incredible feat. Pretty amazing. With all that being said, guys, we hope you enjoyed the clip. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, please be sure to comment below. Let us know what you liked about the video, what kind of content you want to see in the future, and we'll see you guys again soon. Thanks, and God bless.